Hi Virgo, it's your girl Alex, and surprise, here is a reading for you, just random out of nowhere. Ooh, Seven of Wands. What are you holding back? Ooh, Seven of Swords. Magician. 777. Wow, jackpot. Moving forward. Wheel of Fortune. Three of Wands. I feel like you've had a lot of activity going on, Virgo. Nine of Cups. And the Hanged Man. I feel a level of uncertainty coming from you. Yeah. It's almost like you're trying not to tell somebody about themselves. Three of Swords. Okay. So what this is feeling like, Tower with the Seven of Pentacles under the deck. So what this is feeling like is you've come across some information, right? You could have caught someone in a lie. There could have been some sort of change. It kind of feels like a bit of an about face, right? Somebody was, hey, I want to get married one day. Then all of a sudden they're coming back like, I don't know if marriage is in my future. It kind of feels like you are trying to gauge someone, trying to figure out what it is that they want so you know how to move and kind of play your position. I do kind of feel like there's a lot of maneuvering here, a lot of so now with this, a lot of, just kind of back and forth. So now that you've come across this particular information, you're trying to figure out what it is that you need to do going forward. Now, the Seven of Swords does present as sabotaging, and he's running forward but looking behind. So it almost even feels like you were triggered by someone new, but the trigger was related to a past situation. Yeah, I kind of feel like for a lot of you, you could be attracting the same old, same old. Somebody who fails to commit. They're very attracted to you. They want what you want, but for some reason, to get them across that commitment line could be a bit of a challenge. You could have had an argument or a disagreement with someone, and one of you might have walked away, one of you might have ghosted, and I'm going to say this. I kind of feel like if this is a permanent departure, that actually may be, look at that, the Sun, and then also the Seven of Pentacles. It's looking like, I almost want to say, like, there's not a large disappointment about this. And the angels are saying it could even be something like, say, for instance, you were terminated and you're like, well, I didn't like this job anyway, or I was just working so I can, catch up on my car note or catch up on my mortgage. I never planned on staying in this position in the first place. I do kind of feel like sticking up for yourself, laying down those boundaries, being strong enough to maybe even go against some sort of passionate, lusty, you know, um, chemistry types of environment. Whatever this situation is, it does feel like there was some sort of deep attachment to it, but that deep attachment feels temporary, right? Kind of like you met somebody and you're in the honeymoon stage and everything's going great. And then you learned, oh, this person, is an axe murderer. And now you're like, oh, I can't date no axe murderers, right? So that's what the Seven of Wands and the Strength is kind of giving me, like, stick up for yourself, make sure that you are honoring your core values, core beliefs. It does feel like some sort of repeated offense, as in whatever this was that happened recently happened to you in the past, For a lot of you, you could be trying to figure out, why the hell do I keep attracting the same types of situations over and over? Um, and quite honestly, it's because of the energy that's sitting inside of you, right? So if you have some old outdated energy sitting inside of you, you haven't gotten a breakup, you're still mad at that ex, you still hate that job, right? As long as that hate, anger, whatever have you still sits inside of you, you're going to constantly attract from it. I'm also hearing that somebody played a technicality, right? As in, you met somebody, it's in a honeymoon phase. Y'all are acting like, you're committed. And then all of a sudden you hear they're dating someone else. And you're like, wait a minute, I thought we were exclusive. And they're like, no, I never asked. Or, yeah, I know. Angels just said Mercury retrograde, Mercury retrograde. So that kind of Seven of Cups with the Three of Swords kind of says to me, there was some sort of misunderstanding where you had an emotional investment, right? You started a job and you thought, you were under the impression that it was going to last for 6 months. And all of a sudden they're like, thank you so much. We'll be in touch. And you're like, wait, what? But in the meantime, there's some sort of pain or heartache that you could be dealing with. Yeah, it just kind of feels like some sort of unexpected start over or do over. And I do kind of feel like for some of you, you could be a little baffled in this moment. Like, what the hell just happened here? Whatever this is, it does not feel like it's going to last long, right? As in, if it's something, it's almost like there's a misunderstanding today, but tomorrow there'll be an understanding. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. You have the Hanged Man and Tower. Yeah, all of a sudden, something just hit a pause button, and you're trying to figure out what just happened. But I feel like that pause button was a universal pause button, right? The universe hit a pause on whatever the situation was. And definitely with all of these sevens, I kind of feel like so you can gain your bearings, get your bearings, right? Because with the Nine of Cups and the Eight of Wands, I feel like whenever this smoke clears, whatever this is, you're going to be happier because of it, happier for it. But right now, it probably doesn't feel that way. Right now, you're like, wait a minute, let me pump the brakes, or, wait a minute, let me, stop and get some sort of understanding here. The end of a tough cycle approaches. I love that. I love that because that kind of says to me that, again, Angel said somewhere here, you were triggered. It was something that happened in your past, and here it is happening again in your present. And I kind of feel like with you sticking up for yourself, with you cutting something off, with you saying, no, 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 not on my watch, that is closing out whatever this cycle was. The energy is gaining momentum. Universe is trying to bring something to your attention, Virgo, that should not be ignored. Prosperity lies ahead. Yep. You're going to be happier in the end. Adjustments are required. So that kind of says to me that whatever this incident was that happened or is happening, it's for your universal growth. And once you come out of this, once you've learned the lesson, once you've corrected the behavior, you've made the necessary adjustments, happiness and joy is going to follow. Yeah, just kind of feels like something is being cleared here from your energy field. And once you're done with it, you can, kind of, you can relax to an extent. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave that here. I hope it resonates. And if it does, don't forget to like, share, hype, and subscribe. Love you guys. Bye.